is Jenny Kishbaugh with Spectrum Health Healthier Communities. Today I'm back with our 6th week of prenatal yoga at home. You may have heard some people compare labor to running a marathon, so I thought today I would give you an exercise which I will call power prenatal yoga for those days that you just don't have as much time to fit in an entire yoga flow and you just kind of want to work on training those muscles to prepare you for labor and delivery. So this will be a shorter sequence. It will be more intense, but I know you can do it. Okay, so let's just start with a brief grounding exercise. We're going to come up nice and tall on our spine as we do, lifting the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And I just want you to take a few moments to breathe here. I want you to scan your body, bringing your attention to each part of your body and how it feels here in space. Your head, shoulders, arms, hands, chest, belly, thighs, lower legs, and feet. Imagining and bringing your focus into each part of the body and drawing your breath towards any parts that are especially tight or tense. Just breathe here. And we're just going to start our flow today by thanking yourself for taking the time out of our busy day to help prepare our body and our mind for our upcoming labor and delivery. We'll take one more nice deep breath here. And exhale. When we begin our yoga flow with that moment of gratitude, we can start off our power prenatal yoga with a positive mindset, which will benefit us. Let's go ahead and start with some neck rolls. So right ear to right shoulder, circling the head down, left ear to left shoulder. And we're going to drop the head back. So now we're going to bring the back of the head back, making a nice full circle with the neck, bringing that right ear back to the right shoulder. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction, so circling the head back again, being gentle with the neck, listening to your body and what feels good. Chin is coming back down towards the chest. And we'll end with the right ear to right shoulder. Head comes back up to center. We're going to take a nice deep breath in, arms up overhead, interlace the fingers, push the hands up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to circle the wrist down. And once your hands meet the floor, we're going to circle back up. And then as we circle back down, we're going to let our arms rest at a T. Shoulders are down, and we're going to start our our arm circles here. So as we're sitting here, you remember that we're hugging baby in. Shoulders are relaxed. Breathing as you circle here. And just remember, as we go through these exercises, anytime you're feeling a burning sensation or feeling like you want to quit, I want you to take that as an opportunity to practice your mindful breathing and where your mind will focus during a contraction. When you're ready, you can circle back. Being careful not to hold the breath. Hugging baby in. Focus on your breath. If you can't think of anything else to focus in on, find that breath and follow it. What we're going to do next is lift and lower those arms. So we're going to raise them up together, palms come together, lower them back down, palms up towards the ceiling. Arms up together, lowering them back down. 5 more. Staying nice and strong in your core. And go ahead and bring the arms down. Just roll out the shoulders here. Release any of that tension that built up. Continuing to work the arms, we're going to come into our hands and knees position. So palms plant in the ground in front of you, pushing up into hands and knees. As always, you can tuck a towel under the knees if needed. We're going to move right into some push-ups. Now these are modified push-ups. So the first thing I want to say is that if this feels too much strain on your belly, there is a modification for push-ups that you can do just up against the wall. I'll show you that first. You just stay there a minute. Push-ups up against the wall will just look like you leaning towards the wall, and you're gonna bend the elbows and push away. And if that's what works well for you today, that's where you're gonna do your push-ups, okay? So take a moment to stand up, find an empty spot on the wall, and do push-ups that way. Otherwise, if you want, we're gonna do a different modification. Another variation for pregnancy push-ups are on our knees, okay? So hands are gonna be directly below the shoulders. Knees are behind us here. Sort of like our plank position, our modified plank that we did last week. And what we're gonna do is just bend at the elbows and push up. Now remember, as we're pushing, we still want to hug baby in. We don't want to have too much pressure on the abdominal wall, and so we can help support our core as we do our push-ups by hugging baby in. Don't hold your breath. Hands are directly below the shoulders, and we're just going to do 3 more. You can go ahead and bring the knees out nice and wide and sink back into a rest pose. Take some nice deep breaths here as you allow yourself to rest in child's pose in between our exercises. When you're ready, we're going to push back up into our hands and knees. And now what we're going to do is just hold our modified plank position. So we're going to bring the knees behind us, strong through the upper body. Like I mentioned before in previous episodes, we're going to make sure that we're staying nice and strong through that upper body, not sinking down in our shoulders. So holding, strong through the shoulders, hugging baby up and in towards your body, and just breathe here. This, of course, is working upper body, and now we're moving into our core exercises as well. You're doing a great job holding that plank. Now what we'll go ahead and do is push back, knees sink out again. We're sinking back into our child's pose, and I'm going to let you lift those hands up. So sinking your weight into your elbows, hands come up, and we're going to go ahead and roll out those wrists. You know, those push-ups and planks can be a lot of pressure on the wrists. And then we'll go ahead and push back up into hands and knees. We're going to move into our bird dog, which you will be familiar with if you've been following along each week. Hugging baby up and in. We're going to first send out the right foot out behind us. If this is enough of a challenge, you're going to stay here. Otherwise, the left hands are going to come out in front of you, the left fingers reaching out in front of you. And if you're looking for the extra challenge, that right leg can come out behind you. Holding here, staying nice and still and strong through that body. And if you're here and you still need an extra challenge, you can lift and lower the arm and foot. See what feels right for your body today. It's so important to prepare our body to support our body during labor and delivery. So it's great to work these muscles. I know it's challenging. Release that left arm and right foot. You can just do a wiggle from side to side with the hips just to release some of that tension. Then we'll go ahead and hug baby up and in and send the left foot out behind us. Again, stay here if that's good for you today. Otherwise, you can go ahead and extend the right hand out in front of you and then draw that left foot up. Baby is hugged up and into your body. Really reaching that hand and foot away from each other. And if you need the extra challenge, you're pulsing up and down here. Reach. And then allow the hand and leg to come back in and just give your wiggle from side to side with the hips. Now we're going to move into working the legs and glute muscles. So we're going to go ahead and point our right knee out to the side and draw circles with the knee. Staying strong in the upper body. So the rest of the body is staying nice and still and just that knee is drawing circles. Two more in this direction and then we'll go in the opposite direction. Now circle back the other way. Just drawing nice big circles with the knee. Check in with your jaw. Are you clenching your jaw there, holding tension there? You want to make that nice and relaxed. Two more. And then go ahead and wiggle the hips side to side. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So now nice and strong in that right supporting knee. Left knee comes out to the side and we'll start to draw circles. Three, two, one, and then start circling in the opposite direction. Remember to use these as an opportunity to practice your breathing for labor. One more. Great, bring that knee back down to meet the other one. Spread them out nice and wide and sink back into your child's pose. Breathing here. You're going to push back up into hands and knees and then up to down dog. So hips are coming up towards the ceiling. Start by pedaling out the feet. We'll just give a little stretch to those legs before we continue with our leg exercises. Coming back to our down dog, we're going to lift or lower and lift the knees. So knees are coming down towards the mat and then push the knees back up to down dog. Dropping the knees down towards the mat, pushing them away. Now this can be as big or small as a movement as feels good to your body. You can just make small dips with your knees if that's what feels good today. Otherwise you can bring it down for a deeper bend. Just three more. And then go ahead and bring the knees all the way down to the mat, coming into our hands and knees position. We're going to go ahead and walk our hands back and push the hips up into forward fold. Remember, you can bring the feet out a little bit wider if you need a more stable stance. Let the head hang here. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Breathing as we roll. Shoulders should be the last thing to come up. And then we'll just take a moment to breathe here. Palms face forward, shoulders roll down the back, gentle bend in the knees. Just making sure you feel stable and secure here before we move on. Next we'll be moving into our chair pose. So we're going to go ahead and lift the arms up in front of us as we sink our hips back behind us, just like we were going to sit in a chair behind us. And we want to have the knees behind the toes, okay? You want to be able to see your toes here. Then we're going to go ahead and push the ground away from us as we straighten through the legs, hugging baby in here to activate those core muscles, and then go ahead and sink back again. Two more. Nice work. Now what we're going to do is just come to a nice wide-legged position. We're coming into our squats. This is how we'll finish out our workout today. So toes are going to be at a 10 and 2. We can bring our hands to hips, up to the side, or keep them on baby. We're going to sink our hips straight down and come back up. Down and up. Down and up. So again, imagining that we're sliding up and down a wall, hugging baby in as always, making sure we're nice and strong through the core. That's going to help protect your lower back and strengthen those muscles as well. You're almost done with your power prenatal yoga flow. You could use this as an opportunity to pick what sort of focal point you want to use during labor and delivery. Maybe there's a certain picture you want to bring with you to the labor and delivery, like of a vacation that you went on, or maybe baby's ultrasound photo. You can start using it now, maybe tape it to the wall where you're exercising, and start to get used to practicing focusing in on that specific image. So take some time to think about what you want to use. Just two more. Nice job. Let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath in as the arms come up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And again, nice deep breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. You can go ahead and heel toe in. We're just going to go ahead and bring our left hand to our hip. Right arm reaches up and over, opening up through the right side body. Keep a wider stance if you're feeling unstable. And then go ahead and bring that hand back up. Right hand comes to the right hip. Left arm now reaches up and over. Bring that left hand back up. Let's do some shoulder rolls here. Rolling the shoulders up and back. Paying attention to the knees here. We're not straight in the knees. We have a nice gentle bend, so we're not hyperextending there. And roll forward. And allow the shoulders to just melt down the body here. Why don't we just end with hands to tummy to baby. If you feel stable, you can close your eyes. Again, remember, you can always bring your feet out a little wider if you need a little more stability. We're just going to take a moment to pause here, our little mini Shavasana at the end of our yoga flow today. Just bring attention to your hands, your belly, baby, and the in and out of your breath. Are you feeling more activity from baby, from your extra movement in our power prenatal yoga flow today? Or perhaps all the extra movement helped put baby to sleep. Focus in on your hands. What do they feel like up against your tummy? Feel the in and out of your breath. Do you notice your belly moving in and out with the breath? Or are you chest breathing? Is the belly staying still as the chest comes in and out? Let's take one more nice deep breath here. Inhale, cool air enters the nose. Exhale, warm breath out through the mouth. Thank you so much for joining me today at Prenatal Yoga at Home with Spectrum Health Healthier Communities. I hope that you enjoyed this Power Prenatal Yoga Flow, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.